Good evening. I'm out for a walk and I thought I'd create a video for today. And it's dealing with personal responsibility, perseverance, and overcoming adversity. I think for a lot of people, this not only affected myself, I think a lot of people really struggle with this. So I'd like to share this from my own experience, and perhaps this will assist or encourage others that at one point, if you're feeling stuck or deep down inside going, man, I did everything that mom and dad said, or the family said, or the culture said, or the schooling system, or the corporate world, and you're left holding an empty bag, or you're left holding an empty plate, or at one point, not laughing, but I'm laughing about it now, that either winding up having cancer, or some other disease, or winding up in the hospital. So, or for some of us, when I was 20, I thought, man, I got 5 years or 10 years to really get things moving with this. And the next thing I know is like, man, 30 comes around, 40s start coming around. By the time we're 50, I'm getting there close to 50. And it's like, time's precious. So we show up here as a spiritual being. We have a lot to do here. And the big assignment here, the big assignment here is really closing up all the emotional entanglements and closing up all the loops of this. So I got lucky with this, and one of my secret sauces is I was very tenacious, and I was very perseverant, and it was a strength out of whatever I had to overcome. And it was something that it turned into a gift later on, because I knew what I could handle and I knew what I couldn't handle. And I'm aware at one point when I shared from my own experience, this is from my own experience here, that with whatever I made, that at one point the universe said the whole thing needs to collapse. And thank God it did, because a lot of it, as a spiritual being, when we're showing up here, we're coming here, or I'm coming here, and we're all coming here to learn about the basics, or mastering the basics. And every lifetime that I kept showing up here, the basics or the assignment that I was assigned to either complete, really hone in and master, none of it really worked out. So when I found out about this, that as a spiritual being that we show up here and we have a soul contract, that added a lot of necessity, or it changed a lot of my priorities. That wow, all these things that I was aiming for at the time, they became, all the priorities changed, and they rapidly changed. So it wasn't so much with as a commercial pilot, or how much money I was making at the time, and it really allowed me to focus and reprioritize the areas of my life that were very sour, or simply the areas of my life where I'm like, man, I need to really take accountability with this. And I'd like to share with that the qualities of being perseverant or persistent are amazing, are stupendous. And I would advise, or I would suggest, that never underestimate the power of it, because at one point that's what pulled me through out of a lot of mess. So one of the gifts that, thank God, I got introduced to a phenomenal being that assisted me with this. The lesson of personal responsibility and personal accountability, it was a tough one. And I had to really let go of the unnecessary responsibilities with it. And I had to make myself as a priority. And by doing so, at one point there was a tipping scale with this, and I became very selfish with it. Not selfish in a mean way or in a rude way, but as a fundamental. Like, we're in the airplane, and say if the oxygen masks come down, I'm like, man, I've seen enough of the training videos. I've wound up doing it myself for a while. It's like, man, I got to put the thing on me first. And what I learned is how to give my energy out to everybody else, or I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful that I've been around a lot of amazing people. And I'm very grateful for the people I did meet, and they taught me a lot. And a lot of the energies I was around, I mean, it was either sink or swim, and it really forced me to level up. And they were not small souls either. A lot of them were the old souls or the master number type souls, and it really, I'm looking back at it now, that this is, as a gift, as tough as it was, it allowed me to really up level my life. So the moment I started taking personal responsibility for my life and I took ownership of it, things started to change. And the toughest thing I had to do there is I had to take a chance on me, and I had to say I'm willing to drop with whatever's not serving me. And then I really took a leap of faith with the universe. And at the time it was the scariest thing. And looking back on it now, I was thinking, well, thank you, universe. Thank goodness it did happen. So it was really a beautiful gift in disguise with this. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. It liberated me in so many ways, where whatever I thought was all this programming, that's what there was, all this unnecessary stress. And a lot of it came from others' culture, others' way of thinking. And if you're going to do something, learn it from people that have already done it or that are already very successful with it. College, university, personally for me, was an absolute waste. I'd suggest find somebody that you can really mentor with, somebody that's already done their craft and have done very well with it. And be selfish with yourself, with whatever it is that you need to do with it, and really learn it, own it, so when you have it inside of you, no one can take it away from you. What I've learned is, in this material world, this physical world that we live in, we all live in this world, myself included, that I learned at one point that there was other priorities, and the big one for me was at one point that I'm speaking about it now, that we're all coming here to purge out all the emotional entanglements. So, and I say it lightly, and I say it with a lot of sincerity, because at one point some of you may snicker or laugh about it, or others like, well, I have no clue what this guy's talking about. And then at one point when you figure it out or you find out about it, then it's kind of like, oh man, I wish I knew about this 5 or 10 years ago. And I'm sharing this because I lost a few friends, one particular friend in particular, or it really shook things up. So, and then from those wake-up calls from the universe, this is where I had to really find out and own my inner strength of things. I'm like, man, I said I was going to do it. Like, what is it that I'm really going to do to make this thing happen? So the inner stamina and was a big one. And thank God, at one point, with whatever schooling and with whatever I was involved with at the time, I mean, I was obsessive and compulsive with what I was doing with the martial arts and working. I was working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, and I was down to 1 job, and I was on call 24/7. They taught me a lot of necessary skills to really being perseverant and committed. What got me the most with it is I had to drop the commitment with others, not so much in a negative way, but in a way, for myself, I had to be selfish with me. And the moment I started doing that, and I really took ownership of it, I found out, even just literally in the last couple of weeks, that anything and everything that's not working properly in my own life, there's a reflection inside of me, either emotionally, mentally, or as a program, as a file. And it's not just from this physical lifetime. We're now in this 5D consciousness, so a lot of the energies now are coming in from the other past lifetimes where, unfortunately, things weren't handled properly with. So I'd like to share that in this lifetime as I continue spearheading with whatever I'm involved with. And it's to really assist people with closing up or clearing up the foundational entanglements. Once that's done, there's a whole other side of us that's yearning to be tapped into. And it's the soul that when we start tapping in with that, there's like a whole other lease of life on things. So whatever you may think or whatever I thought as a detriment or as a severe loss, the universe is watching that, or the universe watched everything with what I was doing. And the moment I really made the decision that I'm going to change things, and I had to be the necessary change with it, the universe started to assist me step by step with this many years ago. And I wanted to share this because I think this is the information that people need to. I'm sharing from my own experience, as it's sad when I see certain things now that, like diseases, it's a physical outcome from the way that the body expresses itself, or when certain things happen in our life, and it's like I'm not immune from this. I mean, I have my own lessons with the universe. It all stems back from the way that we think, the way that we feel, and back with personal responsibility. So simply wanted to take a couple moments there and share it, because it was very near and dear to me. So and what I'd like to say is that it's the moment I really owned it, and I started to move with it, and I kept moving with it, my life changed. And it's not like the secret sauce of being lucky with it. I'd like to add to that. I think I'm saying it for myself here. Luck might be 5% of it or less. And in all honesty, I think it's at least 99, or I had to take 100% ownership of whatever I was doing, and then a massive leap of faith with the universe, with God, source, creator, the soul, or whatever you believe in. That was the secret sauce there, and really owning up to it. And it took a different level of accountability, and a different level of responsibility with that. So I honestly wish that others would have a positive experience with this, that you find out at one point that it's not all about appeasing others or having that high position. And I think a lot of it's great, do not get me wrong with it. It's to have, it's to really have that inner satisfaction on the inside, and then when we leave here, say, man, when I was whatever age that we're at, or I did things to the best of my ability, and I owned up with whatever was going on, and living it as our birthright of being happy, being joyful, and being fulfilled, and living with integrity, and being happy with things. So that's it. So I trust this inspires a few people with this, and that's it. So be kind with yourself, treat each other well, and until next time, take care.